Greetings Ventures, this is Lunar, your guild advisor, and we're back at it with some new DanMemo news for, what month is it? September already? September 8th, 2020. Holy crap, we're already in September. Crazy. And what goes with September? A summer event, of course, right? Summer, September. It technically is still summer, but it doesn't really feel like it, especially if you're in Denver right now. Hope you guys in that storm are doing alright. But as I thought, like after the Astrea Record 3rd Anniversary event, that huge event that lasts about 3 months, I was like, what's going to happen next? Are we going to get a summer banner with Swimsuit characters? And of course, they could not resist the temptation. So we are getting that starting tomorrow night on the 9th if you're in the West. And as you can see here, we got a couple of familiar characters and some ones I was surprised to see. Very happy to see them. But as you can see here, the new characters are Lunar, Eyes, Hestia, Lena, Hajime, Racier, and of course the Sunset Saint Amid that you can actually limit break for free just by doing the quest. And let's go over each character individually. There's a lot of news, so I'm not gonna go dive deep into any of the characters, but of course we'll showcase the skills. Here is the art for Sunset Saint Amid. She's had a swimsuit character before. I believe that was 2 years ago. So she's back for the summer. And like I said, guys, like Ryu's my favorite character, and her only swimsuit unit is the one from the very first summer event, which we did not actually get to experience in the West, but we got a rerun of it the following year, so we still got it. And even though Ryu's my favorite character, I was like, I don't really want to see her here because I don't have enough iris to do that, so I am kind of happy about that. But the weird thing is that this is Eyes' 4th straight year of getting a swimsuit character. Like, not even Hestia got a swimsuit character last year, so Eyes has been the constant. She's always had a swimsuit character, so kind of weird. Anyway, let's keep on going. Amid, and of course, for the actual skill translations, I'd like to thank Simhow6567 for the DanMemo Reddit Discord, as always. I'll leave a link to the Reddit post in the video description. But with Amid, her stats aren't really too impressive. Like, I saw her magic stat, and it's only 1137. Of course, Amid is more known as a healer, so I'm not expecting her magic to be too high, but 1137 seems really low. But anyway, as for her special arts, it's a high heal and physical resistance and magic resistance buff of 40% to all your allies, as well as a 30% HP regen for 1 turn. So just a very strong defensive buff to your characters while also giving you a bunch of healing and HP regen, though honestly I think that the normal Hajime special arts is more enticing than what this Amid can bring you. But again, she is a free character, you can get to +5. And for her combat skills, her first skill is a fast, strength, magic, and heal rate buff of 20%, so your heals will be 20% more effective, and also a physical resistance and magic resistance buff of 25% for 4 turns, so just a ton of buffs in general, slightly increasing your strength and magic and heal rate, as well as your physical and magic defenses. Her second skill is a mid-heal to her allies, cures all ailments among your allies, and also gives them 25% HP regen for 1 turn, so at the very end of that turn, they will recover 25% of their health. And then for her third skill, it's an AoE highlight magic attack with an ultra uncounter rate, and extends the buffs on your allies by 2 turns. And as for notable passives, she has the counter heal, so whenever she counters, she will heal the lowest health ally. She has an additional 35% dark resistance, an innate plus 4% HP MP regen, has a bonus 15% extra physical and magic resistance, and reduces her damage by an additional 30% on her guard. So just a little nice free healer unit. And then next up we have Seabreeze Princess Eyes, and I really like the aesthetic they're going for with the swimsuit designs, because we do get swimsuit characters every single year. We actually had some earlier in the year because of the OVA event, so I really appreciate the Yukata-esque inspired floral pattern design on these swimsuits for these characters. And for Eyes, she is a physical attacker with a maximum attack of 2019 at maximum break max 0 ascension. For her special arts, it's an AoE Ultra Water Physical attack with a temporary strength boost and ultra penetration rate, and decreases the water resistance of your enemies by 50% for 3 turns, so a strong, hard-hitting water physical attack that will increase the amount of damage that your water characters will deal due to that water resistance debuff. And as for her combat skills, the first skill is an AoE water resistance debuff at 35%, debuffs guard rate by 30% for 5 turns, and also gives her the 2 additional actions of a AoE low water physical attack. And as for her second skill, it's an AoE fast high water physical attack with an AoE resistance and single target resistance debuff of 20%, so both your AoE and single target attacks will hit your opponents even harder because this will reduce the resistance by 20%, and that debuff lasts for 4 turns. And her third skill is a single target high water physical attack that will increase in damage by 40% for each single target resistance debuff skill on the opponent, and also has an ultra critical rate. So it's just a hard hitting single target attack if you need a water character that needs to deal a bunch of single target damage. And as for notable passive, she has an extra 35% fire resistance, a modifier plus 30% on her strength and dexterity, does 15% more damage on her criticals, reduces the damage by an additional 30% on her guards, and has the Aqua Killer ability, so expect a Familiar Rush or Royale with Aqua type characters in the near future. Our next character is Blazing Fist Lunar. Again, I'm very happy that Lunar is getting a new character because, you know, this is the 4th straight year that Eyes is getting a swimsuit character. And I think Lunar's actual last unit was almost exactly a year ago with the Dungeon Rogue Town event. But there is one particular character I'm still kind of mad about not getting a new unit, but I will go down that pipeline later. As for Lunar herself, she has a maximum strength of 2023, so just 4 points higher than Eyes, and maximum break max hero ascension, and also pretty fast at 1031 agility. For her special arts, it's an AoE ultra water physical attack that will increase in damage by 50% for each physical resistance debuff on your opponent, and also has an ultra unguard rate, so hard hitting AoE attack that will do a ton of damage if your opponent has that physical resistance debuff on them. And as for her combat skills, her first skill is a fast counter rate and heal rate buff of 30%, and also increases the magic resistance of your allies by 35%, all that for 5 turns, and also increases her own strength by 65% for 5 turns, so tons buffs happening with that first skill. Then for her second skill, it's an AoE high water physical attack with a temporary strength boost and ultra uncounter rate, and also debuffs your opponent's physical resistance by 30% and her counter rate and heal rate by 35% for 4 turns. And then her third skill is an AoE high water physical attack that will increase in damage by 30% for each physical resistance debuff skill on the opponent, and also has an ultra critical rate, so a lesser version of her special arts attack, but it will deal a ton of damage, especially if you have the debuffs from skill 2 applied. And for her notable passives, she has a bonus 35% fire resistance, and also has a bonus modifier of plus 35% strength, agility, and dexterity. She does 10% more damage on criticals and penetrations, and 50% more damage on her counters. Next up is Foxy Yukata Haruhime, so her second swimsuit character technically, because she got one from the OVA. And as for her, this is weird because Haruhime, like, you think of her as more of a spellcaster because she has the level boost, so you think of her as a buffing character, but she is a physical attacker for this unit with 2012 max strength, max limit break, max hero ascension, and very fast at 1134. Like, very weird to think of Haruhime as a fast-hitting physical attacker. And for her special arts, it's an AoE ultra water physical attack with a temporary strength boost and ultra critical rate, and also gives your allies a water attack damage buff of 50% for 3 turns. And as for her combat skills, her first skill gives your allies a 30% strength buff, a 35% water attack damage buff, both of those for 5 turns, and she applies an additional 2 actions to herself for a AoE low water physical attack for the next actions taken. And then her second skill is an AoE super water physical attack with a temporary strength boost and ultra uncounter rate, and gives your allies a 20% HP regen for 2 turns. And her third skill is a single target high water physical attack that will increase in damage by 40% for each water damage buff skill on her, and also has an ultra penetration rate. So a hard hitting single target skill, and you want to make sure you have her water damage attack buff on her, as well as an assist with that water damage buff so she does the max amount of damage possible. And as for notable passive, she has a bonus 35% fire resistance, a 30% strength and agility modifier, has an innate 8% HP MP regen, and also does an additional 15% damage on penetrations, and she is equipped with the Aqua Killer skill. Look out for Familiar Rush and Royale. And the final adventurer unit is Azure Bloom Lena. She has my favorite art, and that might just because I like Lena. I think she's cute. She's showing her armpit in this art. Most of you, especially those of you that don't read the Sword Oratoria light novels, might not appreciate Lena that much. Like, why is Lena some random character from season 2 getting a unit? Guys, I'm sorry, but yeah, it is weird for anime onlys, but Lena is a really fun character. So read the Sword Oratoria light novel. She appears, she's in 6, but her rise to prominence is in 8, and of course there's that angry wolf boy right next to her, and if you look at her special arts animation, the wolf boy is included in that. But the weird thing about this event, guys, is that it's been so long since we had a Tiona unit, and let me tell you how long it's been. It's almost been 2 years. Like, when we get to New Year's, if we don't have a new Tiona unit, it would have been 2 years since we got a Tiona unit. Amid's getting new units, Lunar's getting new units, Lena's getting new units. All 3 of those characters are characters that aren't as, like, important to the main narrative of DanMachi as Tiona is. It's mind-boggling. And I know I keep saying this because they announced this so long ago, near season 2, when they announced a roadmap for the DanMemo game. Like, we're gonna adapt Sword Oratoria Volume 6. We got that Volume 5 adaptation, but we're still waiting for it. So I'm gonna say maybe it happens right after this event. That would be cool, but who knows, guys? At this point, I feel like saying Sword Oratoria 6 adaptation of the game is a meme. Anyway, Lena. Magic attacker, also very strange because she's an Amazon. She's showcased with like twin swords in her first unit for the game, but she is a magic attacker, so it's like how Hajime and Lena like switch roles here. And they are originally from the same familia, Ishtar familia, so I'm wondering if they have scenes together. But again, she's 1996 magic at maximum break, Racier Ascension. Her special arts: a single target ultra light magic attack that will increase in damage by 80% for each self magic buff skill honor, and also reduces light resistance of your opponents by 50% for 2 turns. So a very hard hitting light magic attack. And as for her combat skills, her first skill is a self magic dexterity and light attack damage buff of 60%, so a ton of buffs. 120% damage buff basically if you combine her light and magic, and then also getting dexterity, all that for 4 turns. And gives yourself an additional 2 actions of a single target low light magic attack with a ultra critical rate, so even her additional actions will be doing a ton of damage because you should be getting those crits every time. And her second skill is a single target fast high light magic attack that will decrease your opponent's magic resistance and light resistance by 35% for 3 turns. So definitely want to apply that to your opponent to deal tons of damage with the other skills. And her third skill is a single target slow super light magic attack that will increase in damage by 80% for each magic buff skill honor, and the magic buff that is honor will be removed after this skill is used, so very similar to that Christmas Aisha. And as for her notable passive, she has a 35% bonus dark resistance, does an additional 20% damage on critical hits, 20% more damage on penetrations, and has the Aqua Killer ability. Again, I'm not gonna go too hard on these banners, but I do want Lena at the very least. And onto the assists: Carnival Goddess Hestia. These are very self-explanatory units. She has mediocre strength and magic, about 1028 HP, but a good agility of 594. Her assist skill at +5 gives your allies a 15% strength and magic buff and a 20% water attack damage buff, so very obvious water team, and it works for hybrid teams because it does both strength and magic, so you'll want Hestia if you're making a water team. And then Summer Color Racier. She has a very high magic stat at 640, and her assist skill at +5 gives your allies 20% magic buff and also a light and wind attack damage buff of 15%. So if you have a magic team that has light or wind characters, you'll definitely want Seer. Lena is of course light, so And Alfia is light, so they make a pretty good combo, right? But of course, Lena is more targeted towards single target fights, but if you have both characters at a high limit break, you probably want Seer to help them out. And for your Gacha banner layout, we have the Breeze banner featuring Eyes, Lunar, and Hestia. And remember, these are not time limited characters, so you can actually limit break these characters with regular Prism Bonds. And also, at some point down the line, they'll be added into the general pool of characters, and these are your standard 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th guarantee roll banners as well. And the second banner is the Moon, featuring Lena, Hajime, and Seer. And then this is your login bonus for the event. Not too impressive, like you see the Hero Falna, you see the regular 3-star Gacha tickets. And there will also be paid bundles for the event, the special bundle and the mini bundle. And then there's also going to be a 20 million download login bonus, a total of 1,000 Iris altogether. And here's the layout for it, so pretty much over 3 weeks. And we're getting a rerun of the New Generation Pop Stars event from last year. They didn't actually put a date on it, but I'd assume it's this week or maybe next week. I assume this week. And because there are light characters on here, that kind of works with Seer, and maybe they might buff some of their skills. We'll just have to see down the line. And then there's also going to be a Season 2 special gacha with one free 11 draw every week. Now with the way free 11 draw is colored, it makes me think you'll get a guaranteed 4-star character, but I'm not gonna make that definitive. We'll just see how it goes. But over the course of 3 weeks, starting on this looks weird. 9/11 Thursday. 9/11's a Friday, so I don't know what they're trying to say here. We'll just have to see, either Thursday or Friday, whichever happens. But we'll be getting 3 different banners based on characters that appeared in the Season 2 Gacha banners. And I got the banner images from the Japanese live stream. The first one having Eyes, Apollo, and Cassandra. The second one having Ares, Aisha, and Ishtar, and the third one having Haruhime, Soma, and Hestia. And there's 3 other characters, of course, because there was 12 episodes, so I wonder if they're just sprinkled somewhere else in these banners. But we're missing pictures for Samara, Lena, and Daphne, so I think they're just spread out among these 3 banners, probably. And we're getting more features, more quality life features for the game. First one is party duplication, so basically, it's like copying meta decks. Like if you're in the card games, you like look at a deck list and like, I want to make that my deck. So that's basically what you do here. You look at an opponent's party, and if you have these same units, you can actually just automatically make a party lined up the same way as the players' units that you're looking up, their exact party. So very interesting. DanMemo is now a meta game, or meta decking. And then you can also now skip special art animations, and that option is put into the settings. So yeah, this has been becoming not really a problem, but kind of a chore when you're like trying to do like your Familia rush runs, and you're like, okay, I've been doing this fight the same way every day for 4 times. I don't need to see this special arts animation again and again and again, because some of them have been taking quite a while. So very thankful feature to have now. And as we're getting ever closer to Season 3 of DanMachi, they're teasing some type of countdown login bonus, and that's all they're doing. I don't know why even announce if you're not going to tell us what it is, but we're getting something special as Season 3 approaches in October. And then there's going to be a daily paid 100 Iris special, and then you can see here the period lasts from September 25th, so kind of an early announcement, to October 2nd. And then during this period, you can get 100 paid Iris for a special price of $3.99 or $5.49 Canadian dollars. So cool if you're into spending money during this pandemic. And of course, they can't resist. We got to make a big special paid box to celebrate Season 3 coming. So this special autumn box, and it's probably going to be like $90 or something, includes a 4-star time limited unit exchange ticket, and that's a ticket you can use in the special exchange shop for time limited characters. And I believe the last ones that were added were the Argonauts characters, so we'll see if they add more characters into that pool. But definitely check the exchange pool of characters in the exchange shop before you buy this box, if you want to buy this box. It also has a 4-star adventurer ticket, a 4-star assist ticket, and then there's going to be 2 4-star guaranteed 11 draw tickets in there and a regular 11 draw ticket as well. So geez, talk about spending big during the pandemic, and then holidays, it was always nuts with new video games, and then PS5, Xbox Series X and S, nuts. And then, of course, Record Busters coming, this time it's Otaro, Wind Element, and then 7 Zone, once again being refreshed. So tons of stuff happening, coming right off the heels of the 3rd anniversary event. And guys, I know I said I'd get the story discussion out, I was working on it last night. Oh my gosh. I wanted to get it out last night. I was working like all day yesterday, the entire day was just me working on that video, and I wanted to get it done, but it was like getting to like 1:30 a.m. I was like, this is gonna take at least another hour, and I would have to wake up in like 4 hours to go to work, so I decided to go to bed. So right after this video is uploaded, I'll be working on that story discussion video. Sorry about that, but the final part to Astrea Record, my story discussion on that, will be released sometime tonight, and hopefully I go to bed at a good time. Who knows? But as an overview of the upcoming schedule, tomorrow night, Wednesday, is the Sparkling Summer Carnival event, along with the gachas and bundles and characters that go along with it, the 7 Zone refresh, and the Otaro Record Buster Wind Element. And then after that, we'll be seeing the login bonus for the 20 million downloads and the event itself, as well as the Part 1 of the special gacha for DanMachi Season 2, along with the free 11 draws that are happening. And who knows when that rerun of Pop Generation Pop Stars is going. Who knows? It'll happen at some point. Anyway guys, hopefully you get the characters you want. Hopefully you're excited about some of these characters. I myself will be doing my mandatory first draw because of the guarantee on the first draw. Hopefully I get Lena. I'll probably just keep drawing until I get her. I hope that doesn't come to spite me, bite me in the butt, because I'm still anticipating Sword Art Victorious 6's adaptation. Who knows when it's happening? And who knows if we're gonna get like weekly characters with the Season 3 anime, because that's what they did for Season 2. I personally think it will be kind of difficult to make a new character every week for Season 3 because the amount of characters introduced isn't necessarily as generous as the ones that were introduced in Season 2, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Look forward to the final story discussion on Astrea Record coming out sometime tonight. Please go ahead and like the video, sub to the channel, follow me on Twitter, and join the Discord. And as always, continue enjoying your time adventuring around Racier and the dungeon. This is Lunar, your guild advisor, signing out.
風に揺らいでゆく鈍色の光照らす世界で今選ぼうその